Hello, we are the team from Rebuild for Change. Joining us today, we have the founder and chief director, Faadiela Ryklief, the administrative director and co-founder, Faadiela Ryklief, off camera, and I am the presenter, Aaron Lewis. Rebuild for Change seeks to uplift and empower communities through focusing on holistic development from early childhood to youth. We want to tell the stories that shaped us and give a voice to the community. Okay, so let's talk to Faadiela today. So first, tell us a little about yourself, Faadiela. How did you become the founder of a nonprofit?
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Faadiela Ryklief speaking, and the founder of Rebuild for Change. I've been in the early childhood development sector for about 35 years.
Amazing. You have so much experience. It's good that you're actually going into something like that and really building it for yourself. So you talked a little bit about the community that you grew up in. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Just like, where did you grow up?
Okay. I come from the Athlone, Cape Flats area. And in our area is on the skirts of where I was staying. It's a very underprivileged community that I grew up in. And at that time, and I mean this is many years ago, is completely different from what the lifestyle is now and for what is out there now. It was very strict discipline. We were very strictly disciplined. We couldn't walk outside or just stand on corners. Or, sometimes, as they would say, bunking schools, not attending schools. But they were very strict at that time. And compare those years to now is that everything is that every corner where you drive, you see children which needs to be in school. At that time, if we were caught on the streets, we were literally picked up. Mm-hmm. And taken to school. So yeah, it's a very the community. It's not wasn't as because of the strictness of the discipline. It's completely different from what it is now.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your heritage and about being colored? And if there's any international viewers, remember, in the South African context, that word's not offensive. So you can just kind of explain like what being colored is.
Okay. Being colored is in those years, and I'm speaking say in the 1978 up to the 80s, is that we could not attend schools we really wanted to go. We were all placed in schools that was in and around our living area where we lived in. And we had sporting codes at that time. And when we pursued in something good, it was just to a certain level that we could go. Mm. But the opportunity was very rare for coloreds to pursue anything on a very professional level. And that was the saddest part of it. And I can remember I'm a very sporty person, and up until now I'm very sporty. And at the time I've done any sporting code that the school has offered. But when it came to, you were so good at it, but when it came to a certain level, we maybe needed to go to some province trials where maybe needed to go on to a international tour, or even go to another province to do nationals or anything. And it was not possible. It was just not possible. And I think that was the saddest part. And I can tell a story about myself when I was a cross-country runner, and when we needed to do, came into, supposedly at the time Western Province, and you were so sad that you weren't chosen, even though you were so good at it. And another factor was also that our parents couldn't afford to send us to go to another province and I think that was very sad about it.
So you would say that you took your sports very seriously, correct?
Yes, I did. And even I was a badminton player at the time, but it was all on school level. And it just stopped there on school level. And there was nothing that I could have pursued further. And that is the passion also came from where we want to, the organization, Rebuild for Change, is wanting to make that change, is that because maybe what I've been through, and not to see another person or another child, a youth, a primary school, high school child that is so good and not one, and that cannot go further than what he or she wants to go through, and I think that is, and I say, if I make a one difference in one person's life, we will achieve what we want to achieve, and I can happily say is that a year ago, in my age, is that I felt so proud and happy about myself, is that I'm an angler, a lady angler, that I can tell you. So for the first time, and I always say to my children in the past that I want to become a Western Province, something in Western Province player. I want to present our province in something, whether it was whatever there was. And I can happily say that last year, the 2023-24 angling season, I've made the ladies' nationals team to compete nationally with the other Raspel Africa teams, and I felt so proud. And today and this year for the new season starting in 2 weeks' time, and I said I'm reaching my goal to make the international team, and I think that is what we want because what I couldn't do at that time, and now at the age of over 50, I'm achieving my goal, and I'm achieving what I wanted to achieve 30 years or even 40 years ago. And that is what we would like to see, that rebuild for change, make that change within our youth, make a change in our early childhood development through arts, culture, sport, with our primary and with our senior learners as well.
So can you tell us a little bit more about Rebuild for Change? What does it do? Like, what's the focus?
Okay, so Rebuild for Change has 4 tiers. So with our first focus would be early childhood development, and then we're moving on to the foundation phase, senior phase, and youth development. So we basically started, and the focus of our organization is to develop, simulate the early childhood development within arts, culture, as well as in sport, and that is a lack within our in our ECD facilities and our practitioners. There's a lot of guidance, support, and mentoring in how to develop, especially within the art activities as well as in sport, developing fine motor skills, developing gross motor skills, and then we would also do center support in helping practitioners to develop their classrooms within the various activities, and then we would move on to maybe support the principals in managing the ECD facility so that they can become self-sustainable, so that they can be the guidance and mentors for the practitioners, and just build the facilities and make it starting to make it, and not seeing it as a community, but making to see it as a business, because our ECD centers are reliant on school fees only, and some in our underprivileged communities, fees runs from 50 Rand up until 100 Rand, where even the parents cannot afford that. And we want to try and assist the principals in becoming self-sustainable with doing fundraisings, how to do fundraising, and just to manage the school the way it should be managed. And then we would move on to our second tier, which is our primary school, is to develop sports activities, arts and culture, because we've got so much talented children, and it's not being enhanced within the programs, because it's more focused academically, and there is some kind of lack of arts, culture, and focus more on that, as well as the sport. And then we on to the senior phase that would go, which is the high school phase, is to start professionalizing sport within our learners. There are so much talented children on the street. They drop out of school. Why is it that they drop out of school? It's because of the lack of extracurricular activities, and they're honestly so talented when you ride in the community, because I myself come from a community that the parents can't afford to send their children to schools where these facilities are available, and you just see them in the street playing. They become gangsters. They are trapped into drugs and gangsterism, and that is our focus that we would like to achieve, to get those children off the streets and just start to focus on curriculum as well as the sport. And sport would be the answer for children, because they would be busy and take their minds off any other things that is not that's not suitable for children to be in, and the circumstances that they come in. And also parents are unemployed, and through unemployment they're not even able to send their children on a weekend or to a club for that offers sports, soccer, netball, rugby, or even any other sporting codes, just because of that they are not able to afford it.
That's amazing that Rebuild for Change is giving others the opportunity that you and people of your generation just didn't have, and that maybe you could have been able to do something amazing, but that opportunity wasn't there, and then now Rebuild for Change can hopefully break the cycle. So, do you have any messages for children that want opportunities in sports? So let's say maybe there's a younger child, teenager watching this, and maybe they feel like they're in the same boat that you were. Maybe the parents can afford, or they don't have the opportunity to maybe do something in sports or art. Do you have any messages to them, like anything that might just like uplift them?
For them, I would say never give up. Whether it's going to happen today, tomorrow, the next year, in a decade's time, do not give up. Pursue your dream, and your dream will come true. And I can take it from myself that my dream has come through, and I'm reaching for higher goals. And that is what I want to say out to the youth out there, is to, or anyone, whether it's a 5-year-old child, a 4-year-old child. If they love dancing, let them dance. And to the parents as well, do not keep your child from doing what they want to do. And I would just say, reach for the stars.
I can tell that you never gave up. Telling your story, that you just don't let anything stop you. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but that's such a beautiful message to really give anyone that's listening, that you just can never give up. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to follow along on our journey. To see our impact, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok by searching Rebuild for Change. If you'd like to learn more about our impact, go to www.rebuildforchange.org. Once again, thanks for joining us today, and let's work together and make a change. Thank you.